Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity. It's Tuesday, and it's normally a tutorial, but I'm sorry, I'm just too hot. I'm so hot, and the humidity here is so high. I was almost wringing the water out of my paper. I've got two how do you say the word, dehumidifiers running, and it's just emptying tons and tons of water. It's really uncomfortable, so I'm hoping the weather's going to break, so it's going to be a lot easier to sort of like peel the backing off your sticky tape and stuff like that. So all I did was, in the heat with the fan blowing on me, just do a couple of small things. One of them is an MXR, and the other thing I just did for me to be able to use a couple of dies and stamps that I'd treated myself to. So anyway, for the projects I'm sharing today, I used Dollar Tree twine. Obviously, it's $1 a roll. It's an absolute bargain. Look how much you get. And they're usually great Christmas colours. They do a pale blue one as well, but I haven't been able to find that. So I've used twine from Dollar Tree. I've used my Dollar Tree sticky pads, and I've used my Dollar Tree glue in my needle tip bottle. And what else have I used? Oh yeah, that new set of frames that I showed you last week that I got. I've got lots of different sorts of frames. I used the star one, and I used the tiny little ice cream dies, and I chose 3 of those from MXR. And this is what I made for MXR. It's that little star-shaped frame, and I used some watercolour on that watercolour pads that I got from Tuesday morning. Let's try and get in close there. I went around the edge there with some broken china, or was it Mermaid Lagoon? No, Mermaid Lagoon Distress Oxide around the edge. And I just popped those on there. And then from a stamp set that's not available anymore, I put the 3 for 25 cents because I'd done 3 of them. And then I just use my little mini rhombus. I use some of that new stuff that I got, which is jewellery glaze. It's quite good. I would say it's comparable to glossy accents, maybe not as yellow. If I do a close up, I don't know if you can see that. So it's perhaps got a little bit more clarity and shine. I don't know. Well, it's $2 cheaper, so I would certainly be using it again. And of course, that was from Walmart. But there is that little star, and I've watercoloured all over it, so the embossing and design isn't so apparent. And I had my sparkle pen on my desk, and I put that around the 25 cents because when you've got sparkle, you've got to use it. So basically, that's what I did. That shows you how hot I am. And my other little doodling was to be able to use this, which I haven't poked out, and that's the vintage slide frame that I got. And it comes with that's a separate die that cuts that film strip. So I used that, and I used, let me get this correct, I got a couple of stamps from each of these sets that I got from Aliexpress. I do believe these are no longer available. If I find them, I will link them below, but I don't think they are there. And I just made the little vintage slide, and using the watercolour cardstock again and some of those stamps, and I fussy cut the little girl out. Let's see if we can get away from being blurred. And I used my sparkle pen again as the little berries on those stamps. Used a little eyelet and my crocodile. So that's all a little bit sparkly there. I love a little shoes. Reminded me of the Wizard of Oz. And then on the back, in that little space I got there, I just stamped "In My Heart." And I just doodled all of this with watercolour paint pen and a Sharpie fine liner. So that's basically what I did. Yeah. Shame on me. But I just can't operate when I'm hot. Oh, and there's a little scrap that I've got left. So I've still got a little tiny piece that I can use on a tag or something like that. And basically all I did was put a stencil down onto the watercolour cardstock and just drip watercolour through it and let it dry, and then lifted it up, and I was left with loads of little dotty bits, whereas this one was just, you know, pink ink just splashed down. So that is what I've got for you today. And as I say, I do apologise, but when it's hot, hot, hot and it's seriously wet, it's really uncomfortable to craft. You can't peel the back off your adhesive, double-sided adhesive tapes. Lots of stuff takes ages to dry. Your paper goes all wibbly wobbly and warped, which is why it's quite nice to make small things. But if you would like doing a slimline card and you'd stuck it down, you'd come back the following day to look at it and it would be all sort of like wavy, in the areas where you'd perhaps missed a little bit of foam pad or something. So that's what I did, and I think they're quite sweet. So anyway, let's hope that we're going to get a thunderstorm today to sort of like break this humidity. You have an absolutely awesome day as usual. All links below, and I'll be up tomorrow with who knows what. Might be more small things, but have a fabulous day. Bye.